We're grinding, always wine. Definitely. Thank you guys. So let's see. So I cannot spell. Give me a moment. I'll be right with you. I want the original docket report. I want the original one. That would be what, 2 years ago, y'all? Well, it's all here. What's up, guys? We'll watch this together. We'll start here.
Of missing 5-year-old Summer Wells is speaking out again, this time to address what he calls negativity circulating on social media.
Today marks 1 month since family members say the Hawkins County 5-year-old girl was last seen at her home in the Beach Creek community. That was June 15th. In a statement to News Channel 11, Donald Wells addressed what he said are attacks on his family and misinformation, saying, quote, "It's affecting my other children who already are hurting." Wells said now it's escalating to threats and potentially putting my other children in danger, end quote.
New at 6 News Channel 11's Bianca Murray spoke with members of the Wells Family Church who say that they've also been the target for social media backlash.
The Wells family attends the Seventh-day Adventist Church here in Kingsport, where the pastor tells me the membership is only around 200. The small church family tells me they have been bombarded with hate on social media simply for being close to the case.
These false accusations aren't helping anybody. Taking videos of our church services and looking for Summer Wells and trying to maybe put together some type of a theory or a conspiracy or some type of thought, it's not based on any evidence, and it's false, and it just hurts people and discourages people.
Kingsport Seventh-day Adventist pastor David Ryder tells me his congregation is struggling to cope with the disappearance of their 5-year-old church member.
They have struggled with losing sleep at night, not eating, you could say even depression. Just almost being sick over what's happened to Summer.
Summer's Sabbath school teacher Robin Lane has been at the center of social media accusations since her student's disappearance.
People just, they pick through everything you say and the way you say it, and even if your voice sounds a little shaky, it's nervous getting on camera sometimes. It's normal for us to be a little nervous sometimes when we're being asked questions. But people are just, they just attack every single little thing that you say and do, and I just feel like it's not fair.
She's asking those on social media to think before they type.
That people who are messaging those mean things, that they need to remember.
Think before you speak and type. But I'll also say this. Oh no, we're gonna go over every one of these news reports that have to do with Summer Wells. Every fucking one of them. So sit down, buckle up, and be prepared.
Remember that is a real person that they are talking to. It may just look like a little profile picture of it may not even be the person's face, but there is a face behind that, and there are feelings behind that, and they need to be careful what they say.
The church members I spoke with today say they are continuously offering support to the Wells family whenever they can. Reporting in Kingsport, Bianca Murray, News Channel 11.
Well, tonight, investigators with the TBI say they are still looking for the driver of a red Toyota Tacoma pickup truck with a full bed ladder rack, and they're stressing the driver of that truck is identified as a potential witness in the case, not a suspect.
TBI says they've received 978 tips, still no sign of Summer. If you see her or have any information that can help investigators, call 1-800-TBI-FIND or email tips2TBI@tn.gov.
That Summer be okay, and please come home.
The father of a missing Hawkins County 5-year-old says his daughter would never leave the yard alone. For the first time tonight, we are hearing from the father of Summer Wells. Search teams have covered almost 1,000 acres looking for that little girl. She has been missing since Tuesday evening. 10 News reporter Cole Sullivan has the plea from the family and the latest on the investigation.
It's been rough, but we believe in the resurrection.
Donald Wells says Summer was planting flowers in the yard with her mom and grandmother when she went into the basement of their Rogersville house to play with toys. They haven't seen her since.
So she went down there and she was gone. So she went out the basement door, which was unlocked.
He says she would not leave the property alone, and he and his wife can't imagine what happened.
We try to warn our kids about all these things all the time.
Meanwhile, the search efforts continue to grow.
We have a total of 41 agencies involved in being represented in the search for Summer Wells.
Friday, dive teams joined in the hunt with the goal of fully searching 1.5 miles of rough terrain surrounding the family home.
We want to get in there, flip every rock, check every crevice, check every spot.
They're not just searching for Summer. They're trying to find out what happened.
Rest assured that agents and Hawkins County detectives are investigating this fully. All avenues are being explored.
The sheriff says detectives have conducted searches, but so far all have been voluntary. No warrants required.
Everybody in the community just want to find Summer.
The TBI says her parents are cooperating at this time. Her father says he just wants her home.
Just want to thank everybody for their outpouring of love. That's all.
Reporting from Knoxville, I'm Cole Sullivan.
The TBI wants you to call the number on your screen. If you do have a tip in this case, investigators say they don't want to hear rumors that you're seeing online. That little girl was last seen wearing gray pants and a pink shirt, and she might be barefoot.
Nearly 10 months and still no answers.
Tonight, News Channel 11 dives deeper into the disappearance of Hawkins County 6-year-old Summer Wells. For the first time, we have heard from the lead investigator with the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office.
And tonight he tells us what this investigation looks like right now.
Josh and Sarah, the case of Summer Wells does not look much different today than what it did when I first reported live on authorities searching out in Beach Creek back in June of last year. Now authorities are spending more time than ever before fielding through false tips as well as false hope.
It's sporadic. I mean, one day you might get 5 leads, the next couple of days you might not get anything. But it's been an active investigation that's I've been devoted to since it first occurred.
As Summer's disappearance approaches the 10-month mark, the scenarios of what happened the night of June 15th continue to grow.
The wandering away, sneaking off to go play or may have done, that is a viable option.
The night she went missing, authorities said she walked away from her house. The following day, an Amber Alert was issued.
People are probably tired of hearing this. All possibilities are on the table. We're not completely eliminating the abduction idea, but there's nothing to lead us to believe that we need to focus on that alone.
In the height of the search, those on the ground combed through miles of tough, rugged terrain, leaving many to wonder how there was no trace of little Summer.
She was like 3 foot, 40 pounds. It would be a lot easier for her to get through some of the foliage. And she's lower to the ground, smaller body, a lot more flexible.
Along with the ground search, Pruitt says investigators have poured through data.
We have gone through reams and reams of data. We've collected statements. We've chased down every credible lead that has been given to us. And we are still not much further along than when we started. Surveillance videos, GPS locations, cell phone tracking, cell phone data, electronic data, anything that we could think of to get our hands on.
As time continues to pass since that June day, it's increasingly hard to hold on to hope.
Well, we're 9 months in. I would hope that she is still alive somewhere, but we also have to be open to the idea that that is no longer a possibility.
Pruitt says that he has never worked a case like this with so many different entities involved, and he says it's still baffling that it looks the same as it did that night that Summer was reported missing. Coming up tonight at 11, we learn more about Summer's family's relationship with law enforcement, especially as her father remains jailed and lawyers are now involved.
That was a year ago. Now we're going to get up to the close and personals this year. We don't care about the Dr. Phil bullshit.
The very first age-progressed photo of a missing Hawkins County girl has been released. Thanks for joining us for News Channel 11 at 5 o'clock today. I'm Josh Smith.
I'm Sarah Diamond. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children just released this photo of Summer Wells this afternoon on the eve of the 2-year anniversary of her being reported missing.
Ansley Daniels here. She spoke with center officials after this case, which is still an active Amber Alert tonight, has now moved into its second year of an investigation. Look for coverage of that throughout the day tomorrow. But let's go to Ansley now to learn more about how this photo was created. Ansley?
Yeah, Josh and Sarah, Summer was just 5 years old when she was reported missing, and of course her features could change a lot in 2 years. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has a team of forensic imaging artists that merge features from reference photos with their ability to estimate how a child's face will develop. Limi Kong-Sofer is the director of case management for the center's Missing Children's Division. She says it actually takes about 8 hours to complete just one age-progressed photo.
They try to collect as much as possible what's called reference photos. And although ideally these are photos of the parents at the time or at the age that the child is missing currently, really any family photos, any sibling photos, any parent photos at whatever age is very helpful.
Kong-Sofer tells me the center's artists actually get emotionally attached to the children as they spend a lot of time looking at their lives through photos. They also say that anecdotally, the center has seen some success with these photos. Sometimes it is a feature like the child's eyes that get recognized, which then helps solve the case. The center says an age-progressed photo will be provided every 2 years that a child is missing into adulthood. Summer Wells disappeared on June the 15th back in 2021. If you have any credible tips that you think could help find her, you should reach out to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. That contact information is on WJHL.com.
Winding. Always grinding. That was a month ago. Let's see what homegirl has to say here.
An Amber Alert issued 2 years ago to find Summer Wells is still active. Good evening, I'm Sarah Diamond.
I'm Josh Smith. Despite nationwide attention received by her disappearance, there are still no answers as to what happened to the little girl. The most significant recent development came yesterday when an age-progressed image was released showing what Summer could look like now at the age of 7. That's the photo on the left of your screen.
Summer was 5 when she disappeared. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation says there are no new details they can publicly release. But we have team coverage tonight. Clarice Shaley is at a vigil to help find Summer and honor other missing people.
But first, we'll go to Ansley Daniel, who spoke with Don Wells, Summer's father. Ansley, you've been tracking this case from the start.
Yeah, Josh and Sarah, here we are 2 years later, still trying to find.
Yeah, we jumped forward this year. We looked over shit from when she first went missing. Now we're looking at news reports from this year. So bear with.
Find out what happened to Summer. And tonight, her father is seeking some answers of his own.
I'm just having to put my faith completely in God and know that He has a better plan. And that's pretty much where I'm at. My wife is still struggling.
A lot has changed for the Wells family over the last 2 years since their daughter Summer went missing from their Beech Creek home in Hawkins County.
Social media have come out, and protested at my job, everywhere we go, and so it's hard for us to get any work or anything in Eastern Tennessee.
Wells says he and his wife Candace have been in Arkansas on and off for the last few months, where he's been working in construction. He also says they've been working with the Department of Children's Services there to get their 3 older sons back. They've been in Tennessee DCS custody since the month after Summer was reported missing.
I think they're scared of our house because of what happened, and is one of the issues. So we would like to buy another house here in Arkansas.
The house he's referring to on Ben Hill Road is where his daughter went missing from.
We couldn't understand what happened to Summer. The police couldn't understand, and they were questioning us. At times they were hard on us, and other times they weren't. It just depending on what police agency was there at the time.
2 years later, he and Candace have no clues as to where Summer is.
So we try to bounce things off of each other all the time. We might have talks about some of the drug activity that was going on at the time and was going on right after her disappearance for quite a while. But yeah, there's nothing new.
Don says the family stays in touch with law enforcement through their private investigators.
About 2 months ago, they talked to our private investigators, and the FBI did, and they shared what they could with us. But they're just trying to come up with any new information or leads that they possibly could, and so far we just haven't been able to come up with anything.
As 2 years pass with no new information publicly released, Dawn says the emotional toll is weighing on the family, especially Candace.
She's been burnt by so many people that want to, supposedly, interview her or help and stuff, and then basically turn on her in every imaginable way. She's been hurt deeply by these kind of things, plus the thought of, we lost our daughter, and our boys are in custody also with the CPS.
He says they haven't been able to talk to their sons.
Well, at first we were allowed to talk to them and everything, but we haven't been able to talk to them for about 6 months, no contact or anything like that. And that's all we want to do, is be able to tell them that we love them and we're rooting for them, and we're working on, things to get them back.
Hope is hard to hold on to after all this time, but Dawn says he's clinging to faith.
Whatever the outcome is, I have hope in God, and one day, either sooner or later, I will be with my daughter again.
I've reached out to the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office, the TBI, the FBI, and the Wells family's private investigators. They all declined an interview, but the TBI did answer some questions via email. Those answers, however, don't bring us any closer to knowing what happened to Summer. Josh, Sarah?
Sugar boom boom, I'm chasing Draken. A month ago, another one.
It was 2 years ago on this very night that we were here on the air at 11 o'clock telling you about a little girl named Summer Wells who'd seemed to disappear.
And tonight, still no sign of the Hawkins County girl 2 years later. Her disappearance started as an endangered child alert that was then upgraded to an Amber Alert the next day. The image on the right is the first photo we ever saw of Summer.
And then on the left, there is that what we're hearing called an age-progressed image that shows what she could look like now at the age of 7. That photo, the most recent development released by investigators who say they really don't have anything new that they can publicly release at the 2-year mark. But that is not stopping people from hoping that someday Summer will be found.
News Channel 11's Clarice Shaley went to a vigil for Summer 2 years after she vanished. Clarice?
Over the past 2 years, we've covered numerous vigils for Summer Wells. Tonight, on the anniversary of her disappearance, people gathered once again, determined to keep her story in the public eye. Most days, Warriors Path State Park is full of people having fun outdoors. But Thursday night, the park became a gathering place for 2 separate vigils in honor of a missing little girl.
And I never imagined that 2 years later that we'd be here with no answers.
No answers, no suspects, no explanation about what happened to Summer Wells.
But it does become very, very frustrating, feeling like she's just out there lost and alone.
No answers, no suspects.
Many here said they want more transparency from law enforcement in Summer Wells' case.
We often hear that this is an active investigation, but to the public, it's we're active and what is happening on the law enforcement side.
Some here also pause to remember that Summer Wells is just one of many who've never come home.
If you look at the statistics and the data, it's really sad to see that the number of people that go missing every day.
But tonight wasn't about an investigation. It was about a little girl.
So we're going to show up and hold the space until, as long as we need to, until she's found, until she comes home.
Warriors Path State Park is significant in the Summer Wells case. She went swimming at the park the same day she was reporting missing from her home.
Kaylin,
Clarice,
turn it down.
thank you. We want to show you the photos of Summer. One more time, you are urged to reach out to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation with any credible tips. You are asked to only submit something credible, not social media rumors. That does not help them. This contact information for the TBI is there on your screen and on WJHL.com.
Holy shit.
Today marks 2 years since the reported disappearance of a little girl from Hawkins named Summer Wells. And that's where we begin today on First at 4. I'm Josh Smith in for Ansley Daniel, who will join us in just a moment. News Channel 11's Ansley Daniel has been covering the story for months and even years now and has the latest on the timeline as we look back to what led to the disappearance call. Ansley?
Yeah, Josh, 2 years later, after dozens of searches and hundreds of tips, authorities know no more than what they did when a family member reported that a 5-year-old little girl was missing from her home on Ben Hill Road.
Summer Wells is missing. She's 5 years old. She's 4 foot tall, blonde hair. Last seen wearing a pink shirt and gray pants.
Hundreds of searchers from dozens of agencies searched through Beach Creek for weeks looking for Summer.
We will not quit until we find Summer Wells.
The community held prayer circles and vigils. A couple of weeks later, authorities called off the ground search. That's when Summer Wells' mother, Candace Bly, spoke on camera for the first time.
I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight.
In July of 2021, the Department of Children's Services removed Summer's older brothers from their home. In October of that year, their father, Don Wells, was arrested for a DUI.
I have lost control. I've done stupid things, and for that I apologize.
That was after filming a Dr. Phil special that aired in November of that year. A few other planned searches happened, and in February of 2022, Don Wells was jailed for violating his probation. In March, Summer's grandmother recalled the night she went missing for the first time.
Summer came in and had a piece of peppermint, which is her favorite, and then she went in. She said, "Mom, I want to go play with the boys." Candy walked her back to the house, and she asked the boys to keep an eye on her, and that's the last time I seen her.
10 months into the Amber Alert, the lead detective on the case said he had never worked a missing child's case of this magnitude.
I check tip line and voicemail when I first get here. I do phone calls and follow-ups on any credible leads I've got. I follow up on anything that I didn't get to a good conclusion the day before. Then I go into my normal caseload of any new cases I've got and follow-ups on them.
On June 15th, 2022, the investigation hit the one-year mark.
When we held the first media briefing on June 16th, honestly, we expected to have good news to report by the time the next media briefing came around. Unfortunately, instead, day after day ended in frustration and disappointment. At that time, no one expected that we would still be searching for Summer 1 year later.
That was also the last time we publicly heard from Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson.
We will continue to conduct target searches in the Beach Creek area as new information is developed. We'll also continue to follow up on any legitimate leads. And it's been the goal of this team since day one to find Summer.
Don Wells was released from jail in October of 2022, and he broke his silence in February ahead of Summer's 7th birthday.
It's just another day without her. I mean, I don't really want to celebrate her birthday without her. She was definitely going to be tall. She'd probably be as tall as me, I'd say, because she was growing so fast. I'm sure she would be the same person.
Later that month, after more than a year of civil court battles, a judge ruled the entirety of a roughly $40,000 Summer Wells reward fund go to the Children's Advocacy Center of the 3rd Judicial District. 2 years later, Summer's parents are now in Arkansas. Her brothers are in DCS custody, and where she is remains unknown.
Well, there you have it. No suspects, no leads. So, anything else? Anything else need to be said? Just curiosity. Well, get it from the horse's mouth, not the horse's ass. News reports state for a fact there are no suspects and no leads. Exactly, Legendary, exactly. So, anybody that gets pulled into it is by other creators or other people is just out to hurt people. They can call down Katie's Gravies and the rest of them players. Well, obviously there isn't any players. Lee said the same thing. Yes, that is true. But that case broke, didn't it? So, as it stands, there is sadly to say, there's no body, literally no body, no evidence, no suspects. So she just put on Harry Potter's invisibility cloak and went, see you, bye. That's what you're telling me? That's what the news is telling us. The news is telling us they don't have a body, they don't have any evidence, and there is no suspects. 2 years and 2 years in, there's no suspects, no body, and no evidence. Anybody care to say anything? Because I'm at a loss here. I'm at a complete loss here. I mean, you want to go by facts and evidence. There's facts and evidence right there. Facts is that there's nothing to report. It's the same as it was the day she went missing as it is now. So there's no body, there's no evidence, there's no suspects. So it's basically gone with the fucking wind here. No one is working the case. At times I wonder, what if she wanted to leave? Like maybe Summer said, I am out of here. This place ain't for me. I know I'm being hopeful, but yeah. Hey, nothing wrong with being hopeful, April, Miss King. Nothing wrong with being. Ellie does also lie. I understand that. They do lie. I mean, trust and believe. I understand that. But also understand, okay, we're going on we are going on. Not the cops ain't talking. The FBI ain't talking. Nobody's talking. And the only time we get any type of information on this case is through, obviously, the news. And the news have reported straight up from the LE and TBI's mouths that there is no evidence, no suspects, no nothing. Yeah, the update was an age progression pick. The update was an age progression pick, nothing else. Yes, we already went over that one, Deb. Yes, he does. Everyone is still a person of interest, so maybe a person of interest, but that does not make them a suspect. It does not make them a witness. It just makes them of somebody of interest. That is it. Doesn't mean that they're a suspect. Doesn't mean any of that. She was 5, but I could see her running somewhere if something or someone scared or hurt her. Concur. Have you heard a conversation with Don before? If not, if you had the chance to talk to him, what would you say? I don't have conversations with those two at all. And I wouldn't say anything to him. I wouldn't talk to him. I would just pretend he is not even there. I am sorry, but not sorry. I reached out to him once in the past when this case first hit, and I found out my son was involved, and he ignored me. So I'm going to do the same to him. And they are not allowed here on my panel or on my channel. I will not have them here. There has been other cases where there was no info until an arrest. We don't know what the LE has. They keep it to themselves. That is correct. But for right now, with the information we do have, instead of misleading and bringing in people that don't need to be involved, that we don't know for a definitive fact are involved, we should just wait. We have no choice but to wait. It sucks, it hurts, and it's why destroy other people's lives? And at the end of this, when it does come to light and the case does break, and they had nothing to do with it, why destroy their lives? Why he's acting naive. I wouldn't. Nope. The Wells will not give info anyway, so why waste your time? Actually, I reached out when it first happened to see what the hell was going on his end and to make sure he was good. Like any proper, I'm a parent. We he knew my son. Their kids hung out together. We may not have talked, but it ain't hard for me to reach out and say, hey, how it is. No, she is not. Ducky Lucky, the West Boys case is a great example of that. Yes, but we all have to understand not all cases are the same. All right? Not everything is the same, even though they may be similar. Who is behind me? Who are you? Who are you? Are you my come here, my son? Oh, my you left my window open. What are you doing? Hi, baby. Oh. Hi, my son. Hi, baby. Yeah, give daddy kisses. Give daddy kisses. All right, come on. Good boy. So go eat. So, so this is what I'm taking away from the newscast. Okay? That's what I'm going to take away from the newscast. The newscast is simply stating that there is no evidence, no suspects. There's a few people of interest, few, and to stop spreading hatred and rumors online. That sounds like an idea. Stop spreading the hate. That sounds awesome, right? Exactly. When they talk, it's the same old, same old. Yes, it is. But again, no need to spread the hate. No need to bring in characters that the police themselves or the news themselves have not reported. So leave others alone. Plain, simple, easy. How many more lives are going to get ruined due to people going out there and saying demeaning, hateful, crude shit? Anyone wasting time on DNC on panels is in it for the money. Everybody has said you're not getting anything out of them and the same script. Yeah, pretty much. And they're not allowed here. I ever see their shit in my fucking comment section, they get the boot. They don't belong here. They do not belong here on my channel. They don't belong on YouTube. They belong out there still looking. And if they chose to stop looking, I am sorry. That's just the way it is. You are loud. Excuse me. You are loud and overtaking me on my computer. Please quiet down. So, thus for, what does it mean? What does it mean? It means that there's only people of interest, which happens to be the Wells, my son, Allison. That's it. There are your 4 or 5 people of interest. Well, I haven't made one dime off Summer's case for one, and Don has been on my panel, and nobody knew except for the people who were in my chat. Not a damn dime ever. Hell yeah, Dippy. That's how you do it. Do it where nobody knows. But hell yeah, Miss Dip. Yes, Grandis. Yes, Grandis. Yes, that's why I said the 3 Wells. So, there you go. So at the end of the day, it comes down to Grandis, Candace, Don. My son is a person of interest because he was one of the last people to see her within the first 48 before she went missing. Allison as well is part of that category of the first 48 hours before she went missing. They are people of interest, but it does not make them a suspect. So, anything else? And given that they just stated a month ago that there is no evidence and no suspects. Thus, why destroy everybody else's lives? Well, you got to look at, I didn't see that your son and Ellie are people of interest. Well, they are. Sadly, they are. Boy, you are doing what back here? What are you doing, you little shithead? Jesus, I didn't even realize you were back there. But sadly, they are, because they were the one of the last few to see her alive. Or there. Sorry. What's up? So, thus far, I'm looking at it as people of interest are not the same as suspects. And thus far, the people of interest are just people of interest. You could be a person of interest in a case and doesn't make you a suspect. Any of them come at me again. Any of them come at me again, they will get Excuse me, you are being loud for no apparent reason. Scream again, and you're separated. I wholeheartedly believe Ellie and your son just may know something more than what been told, but I don't believe they would. Whoa! Where was I? I don't believe they would do anything or risk a damn thing for the Wells. I agree. But until the official police reports, are dropped, it is what it is. I mean, he already spoke to the TBI, the local LE. He already put his statements in. It is what it is. So did Ellie. So that is what it is. The wells aren't cleared, though. It should have been easy to clear them if they simply tell the truth. As I said, Legendary, darling, I understand what you're saying, but you heard it. News said it. They released that. They told the news that the FBI, the TBI, and local LE both told the news the same goddamn thing. There are no new leads and there are no suspects. So thus far, nobody's a suspect. Only people of interest. How can the process be sped up? Like 2 years later, still nothing. Is there something we can do to help clear? Well, as I was stating, technically, they're not on the suspect list, so they're cleared. Basically, put the kitten down, please.
They want to say hi?
No, I want you to put the kitten down, or it goes back in my room. You cannot be doing that with that kitten.
Why?
Because it's not ours.
Then why is it in our house?
We are babysitting it.
It was born here.
Yes, but her and her mother are going back to their owner. Leave the cat alone, please. Children, they're awesome, ain't they? But there's absolutely nothing we can do unless somebody finds a body. If you find a body or you find someone walking the block, outside of that, there ain't nothing we can do. PG keeps saying they are number one suspects. PG can say all she wants, but you heard it from the news broadcast that there is no suspects. How long ago was that info? A month ago. Things could have changed. Ellie will not tell anyone right now for good reasons. D Lucky, the information that I am telling you, it came from the 2-year anniversary of Summer going missing. It was stated that there is no evidence and no suspect. Okay? Do I have to go back and replay it? If I remember, no evidence. Ellie definitely ain't caught. Oh my God! Excuse me. Get away from your sister, and you screech a goddamn thing. You're grumpy. Go. No. And tagging your. Oh, that's karma. There's bones. Go. I'm not doing this every damn day. Oh, kids. All right. I believe it was this one. Give me a moment to pause it, and I'll restream it up. Really? Oh, the lag, bro. The lag. Being a suspect of interest, there's a big difference. Exactly. That's late. Those just coming in. The two latest.